Blessing Sacred Space community. This is the Sacred Morning Glow Up. I hope that this has been really beneficial to you ladies as you start your day. I really like it. You guys can comment below and give me some feedback on things you want to talk about, questions you may have that will end up becoming topics for the Sacred Morning Glow Up. Definitely thinking about shifting and doing this. Sacred Wisdom Wednesdays. I'm not sure about Sacred Soul Saturdays at noon. I'm thinking I'm going to change that to something else. But shout out to Kiwanda Jackson at Kava Skincare. Just doing that video, sis, about your product the other day was like, oh, creative genius moment. Again, thank you guys for supporting. I want you to know that I'm very thankful for each and every one of you who is pouring into me mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and energetically. I pray for you daily. I pray for you daily. I pray for you daily. I pray for you daily, sis. I appreciate you. I love you. I value you, your time, your energy, and I am so forever humbled and honored to be a part of your healing journey. This is not easy, y'all. This is not easy, and we are all on different levels of the healing journey. And so what I want you to do when you do tune in to the Sacred Morning Glow Up is to not judge yourself and to not beat yourself up for not being where you think you should be, for not being where you think I am, for not being where other people tell you you should be or suggest that you should be, or the rules that society has set up for us to say you should be married, you should have a degree by this age, you should have children, you should be successful in your business after 6 months, 1 year, whatever the case may be. You know, these requirements that we set up for ourselves based on other people's opinion. These critics that we have in our mind, the negatrons that lie right here in the back of your mind, forefront of your mind. These voices that tell us that there's something wrong with us, that don't allow us to accept ourselves wholeheartedly for who we are. Right where we're at, right where you at, sis. And it may feel ugly, it may feel uncomfortable, it may feel painful, but it's right where you're supposed to be to get what God has for you. We can't just assume that the self-care journey is all about feeling good all of the time. You got to get through some mud. You got to get through some dirt. You got to get through some tornadoes. You got to get through some hurricanes. You got to get through some mudslides. You got to get through some destruction to get to a level of peace, a level of harmony, a level of freedom. Finding true happiness within yourself takes you digging through, getting through, breaking through all of this stuff that has lied on the inside of you, that lies in the subconscious of the subconscious mind, that lies within your gut, the things that you've been holding on to, the messages that you silently agreed to, the mask that you put on. Because sometimes we think, oh, well, when you start discovering that you've put on a mask, you think it's one layer. That mask has many layers to why you put it on, why you felt the need to reinvent yourself, to make yourself somebody that you're not. It takes time. I just really want to share that with y'all. It takes time. It takes time. I started being abused out the gate. Like in the womb, I was abused and neglected and abandoned and rejected. And then I began to abandon and reject and neglect myself. Now that piece alone, being able to say that after receiving abuse, experiencing abuse, I then began to abuse myself. I then began to self-sabotage my journey. I then began to hate myself, neglect myself, reject myself. I then began to hate myself. And all of the ways that people did to me as a child, I then began to gravitate to those things and make them my truth. That is a journey in itself. Just being able to get to, this is the part that I play. in the self-destruction. This is the part that I play in the demise of my own life. It's not all of the men that I dated. It's not all my parents' fault. It's not all my siblings' fault. It's not all about society. It's not all about white supremacy. It's not all about prejudice or racism. It's not all about discrimination. It's not all about the guys that left me to raise these children alone. It's not all about that. You've got to get to a place where you can have honest conversation about yourself to yourself. You ain't got to tell nobody else, just you, God, and the God of your understanding, excuse me. That's it. Now, if you decide you want to share it with the world, or you want to share it with your close friends and family, then that's fine. But the only person you got to get honest with is you. And that's a journey. And so if you can show up every single day and just get a little bit more honest, just love on yourself a little bit more, just be transparent, just be vulnerable, just one step, one tiny step. It doesn't have to be a big step. You don't have to go out into the world like I have and told them I was an alcoholic, drug addict, prostitute. You don't have to do that. Your journey's not supposed to look like my journey, and my journey ain't supposed to look like your journey. I have found my truth in the dark. I have found my truth in pain. I have found my power in the dark. Everybody doesn't want to operate that way. Everybody's not meant to receive their lessons that way. You have got to figure out how this thing works for you. And you have got to be patient. You've got to be kind. You've got to be gentle. You've got to be loving. You've got to be tolerant. You have got to give yourself the space in the room to grow. And you have got to decide, who am I doing this for? Am I doing it for me, or am I doing it for my mama? Am I doing it for me, or am I doing it for my daddy? Am I doing it for me, or am I doing it for my children? Am I doing it for me, or I'm doing it for my grandparents, my siblings, my job, CPS, the judge, the officer? Whatever the case may be, you have got to decide, I am not going to do this for anybody other than me. Because when you do it for other people and they don't start to appreciate your change, they don't recognize your change, they don't validate your change, or when life show up and knock you up off your feet, you'll find every reason to go back to old behavior because you did not do it for yourself. You got to do it for yourself. And then everybody in your life will benefit from you doing it for yourself. Because when you do it for them, it don't even really be about true change. It be about, let me get my ass up out this trouble for this moment. Let me get them off my back. Let me, do what I got to do so they can stop talking. Let me do what I got to do so I can get my children back. Let me do what I got to do so I can keep this nigga. No, and no, you can't. I've been there. I've already done it for you 75,000 times. I have done it for somebody else. And the moment that it wasn't going my way, I went right back to doing what I know how to do best. Because you have to, A, do it for yourself. But B, when you remove a destructive behavior from your life, thought pattern, or just way about going about things, you have got to replace it with something. You got to replace it with something. You got to replace it with something. You can't say I'm not going to think negative no more and don't replace it with a positive thought. You can't say I'm not going to waste my time, money, and energy on dudes, but not replace that with going through the healing process, accountability, responsibility, self-reflection, inventory. There's work to be done in the meantime, y'all. Get with the process. One day at a time. Begin the process. One day at a time. Walk through the process one day at a time. Feel the process one day at a time. Let the process be the process, one moment, 1 second at a time, day by day. That's all you got to do is get up today. That's it. You ain't got to worry about tomorrow. You ain't got to worry about yesterday. Stop looking back. Get up today and do the best you can today. If you guys have any skincare products, hygiene products that you would like for me to try out, drop your links below so that I can purchase your product and give you a shout out, all of that jazz. Share your good morning tips and tricks with my platform. I would love to do so. If you want to sponsor the Sacred Space Healing Retreat that is June 28th through the 30th with one of your products, I have swag bag opportunities available as well. Tune in every morning around 8ish. Depends on when IG let me upload the video. for another Sacred Morning Glow Up. Don't know about Sacred Saturdays? Definitely tune in for Sacred Wisdom Wednesdays. I love y'all to life. I appreciate the opportunity to share with y'all. I'm so thankful for your love, your time, your energy, your support. I appreciate all of you so very much.